Okay, headed to Horatio now, finally. Last week was interesting as ever.
Yep.
I knew Murfreesboro was good, but I didn't anticipate them being that good.
Yeah, no, they're really good. I mean, they're tops in 2A
for a reason.
Like I said, I mean, you know, if we weren't doing anything else on November 3rd, since we're having our game on November 2nd, I'd go to Murfreesboro and watch Mineral Springs and Murfreesboro play.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the conference championship.
And that's going to be number 1 seed, home field advantage all the way through the state tournament.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep, that's for sure. And I just don't know how much, Mineral Springs has really been challenged so far this year. The numbers would say they haven't been challenged too much. That's the only thing that happens with the team that's coming into the playoffs
on fire like that,
10-0, or you know, or if you're 8-0 and you're near the end of the season, you run up against, you haven't had a good solid team to really compete against, and if you wind up in the second quarter and you're behind by 2 touchdowns, some teams will fold because they don't know, they're shook and they don't know what it's like to be behind. They're not going to deal with that. Boonville, the year that they won state back in 2014, or no, 2013?
13 or so, 13 or 14.
It was 13 or 14.
No, it wouldn't have been 14.
Would it? Would have been 13.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things they done to. They did to Warren in the state championship, and they did to a couple other teams. Is those teams had come into the playoffs and had not been beaten, and had not really been close.
Yeah.
And Boonville jumped out to a 2 or 3 touchdown lead.
And then Warren had to come back on them, didn't they?
Yeah, Warren came back, but lost.
Yeah, because they lose on like a last field goal, or didn't they lose on like a field goal at the last second?
No.
I remember. Yes.
It was horrible weather. And,
yes.
Boonville got up by 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Yes.
And then they went into a fairly long weather delay. I want to say like 30 minutes or an hour. And then they got back to play, and Warren came back and got to within a touchdown, but then lost. And then they.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
All the Warren folks were crying about, we just need to. That game should have been called and played again. Well, no, we don't. You don't do that in the playoffs. You're you go to play, you're gonna play. But Boonville won.
Yeah.
That's the year that.
Bless you.
That's the year Cody Harrell was their quarterback.
Yes.
But yeah,
now you worked with his dad, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Casey and I still correspond. Cody's a coach now at Boonville.
Oh, cool.
Got 2 kids. They had twins.
Now, it's pretty much like the same thing at Boonville, though, too. You run the same offense and defense every year. Nothing really changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a really amazing thing about Boonville that, quite frankly, I've always loved. And I know it's the 3 yards and a cloud of dust thing, but nonetheless.
Boring.
I will say that Boonville has run the veer, or the wing, ever since I was in junior high. And they've never run anything different. They've never run anything else. I think that's beautiful. I mean, that's consistency, buddy.
Now, I remember reading somewhere there was some high school in Louisiana that always ran the split back veer and never changed. Arcadia, I think, in Louisiana.
Yeah.
They ran the split back veer forever.
Yeah.
And ever and ever.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. But and that's the thing, though. That's one of the beauties of running the veer is or that wing the wing tee is you don't have to have really big folks on the line to block it.
No.
You can run the gaps in the defense.
Yes.
The key is you got to have really quick execution from the quarterback to your running backs. If you got really fast execution between those running backs and your wing, I mean, you can just run the gaps and put together a sustained offensive drive.
Very true.